What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the red color, playing as Ra. His name is Kiluminati. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Suppe. We have a grudge match of some description. I don't actually know what happened here. These guys played a bunch of games today in some sort of a show match. I don't know what happened. I just picked a random one out of it, and we're going to take a look at it. A lot of people believe that Suppe is one of the best Thor players, if not the best Thor player. There's a couple of other really strong Thor players like Shadowfax and Yoshi's got a really strong Thor as well. But in general, people agree that Suppe has got the most aggressive Thor and the most clean build. So I'm really excited to watch this this game and see what he's going to come up with here against Kiluminati, who has recently been showing that, you know, he can tango with the best of them. He's actually not... He might not be like the most consistent players, but if he gets his game going, he has a really, really solid mental for Age of Mythology. And if the game goes late, oftentimes he is able to hold and against nearly anything and make it work. As we do see the villagers onto the gold nice and early. One thing that Kiluminati does lack in a way is a variety of build orders. So if you kind of know what the Ra game plan is as Norse or as an opponent of the Ra, you can kind of get in here and you can metagame a little bit. So Ra generally likes to go for later advance time, somewhere between 5 minutes and 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Wait, is it? 5 minutes and 14 seconds, 5 minutes for the advance time. And with that, that means, well, he wants to get a second town center up and wants to play that sort of a gameplay. That's like the favorite thing for Ra players to do. Now, in team games, it's really, really good, which is Kiluminati is more of a team game specialist. But in 1v1s, you got to be a little bit more careful because the map's smaller. Your opponent is focusing just on you, and he's going to be able to get in there and cause some problems on those sorts of locations there. But we'll see what's going to happen here. Suppe, he is pumping villagers out onto food here. You can see he's already got 11 villagers on food, deciding to... neglect that wood. He's got himself already has the house. He's got the dwarves coming out here. He's going to be advancing really, really shortly. He's got the temple in the center of the map. Already actually has a Hearser out at this point. This is what makes Suppe's build so insanely crisp. He's going to be getting himself the heroic age here. He's going to jump onto the wood with 6 villagers at this point so he can pump out buildings straight away. He's in the center of the map. He's got an eye on both of these locations here, ready to put pressure there. Kiluminati on the other side of the coin here. He's looking like he might be going for a 4 minute and 45-ish second advance time. Or he might even be going a little bit later as he's up on this rhino over here. He's going to be in a very, very difficult time. But we'll see what's going to happen here as Suppe's starting to get himself the Hersers going. Idle villagers up here need to move up onto that rhino. One thing that I think that players need to do more of, and more often, especially with civilizations like Thor, like Atlantean, who aren't going to be losing their villagers to hunt very often, is just shift click. Just shift click your villagers more, because idle time is a big, big deal, and you never know what's going to happen. And while it's a little bit of an extra action at one point, and it might not be that necessary, as we do see the raid already hitting, and the villagers going to be getting pulled back here. As the watchtower over here, or tower over here, getting harassed. We see the troll coming through here as well. Kiluminati trying his best to get those walls up. It takes a very short amount of time to get that one up as the villager does pull back. However, Apollo, it has come through. That basically gives, I think it's a roughly 1% bonus on your farming gather rate of an actual bonus, because it gets those villagers back and forth off that farm really, really quickly. So not a huge deal, but 1% is still 1%. And we'll see what sort of a build here that Kiluminati is going to go for, because he's advanced late, but he can just build himself some barracks if he really wants to, as the villagers are going to pull forward, try and hit these villagers, or hit these Hersa as he can, deciding to take this fight here, as Thor just about to hit. One villager does go down. No garrison micro there from Kiluminati as he does dive into that tower there. The Hersa now needs to retreat away as the Pharaoh too strong. Kiluminati also going to be using that shifting sands to take out some of those units to boot, but there's nothing there as an armory gets dropped down. Do we see that town center coming up or not? Looks like he's not opting in for it just yet. Super's got himself triple longhouses at this point. Shifting sands is used. The Hersa manages to survive. Going to be retreating back up here. Needs to get an eye onto this town center, because if he lets Kiluminati get it, life's going to be tough for him, as we see Kiluminati going with 10 villagers onto this location. As the Hersa coming through here, we see the Pharaoh getting pulled off. That's going to be able to take down all of those, well, not all those Hersa, but 2 of those Hersa very, very quickly here if he wants to. And the other one is looking like it's probably going to get out onto the back there, but does leave with a little bit of HP remaining, as Soup coming in onto this position. Not going to be there in time. A little bit too slow on that one as the town center gets up with the help of that Pharaoh. 11 villagers is a lot here as he gets that one down. He can actually jump over onto that hunt there if he so chooses, as the gold over here has been left alone. I like this idea from Kiluminati. Soup, on the other hand, has got to start thinking about where to next. Does he just put the pressure onto that town center or try and rush that one down as an idea? Could go for that. Oftentimes it can be a little bit too difficult to make that happen. As we see all the military units, they are stopped. We do need to see a house coming up somewhere here, as Soup is currently housed at this point in the game. But it looks like he's going for a town center here, as the Hersa are all pulling back. It's not 100% vital that he gets the house up right now. Now it is. Now it's vital, because now his villagers aren't going to be able to be trained. As we see the units coming through over here, and the villagers checking out all over the place. We see the raiding cavalry coming in, trying to hit a little bit of a raid onto these villagers. Remember, they do have that Kithara of Apollo nice and quick, as the Wadjet going to be helping the defense over here, as the raiding cavalry just, you have to be so careful with them. They are paper at this stage of the game, and those villagers turn around and shank really, really nicely here, as raiding cavalry retreating back, and Soup getting that up. At least he lost the raiding cavalry, so now he can build another villager, but he didn't have auto queue selected, as the villagers do start there, as the Hersa pops out, as another raiding cavalry falls in. He gets housed yet again. But the town center will be up in time. Plus there's a rhino on it, which is going to be really nice for him to jump onto that one straight away there. As the raiding cavalry still searching around. Do see a cheeky little wall on this location for Soup as well. We might even be able to sneak in and grab that hunt over there. He's got a handful of zebra in the middle, finishing up those rhino in the center of the map there as well. As now, I imagine Kiluminati here, and he does go for this. He's throwing the farms up. One thing I'd like to see a little bit more, there is this windmill formation, right? But what is important and what you don't need is, you don't need these farms down on the corners as early as players put them down. What you actually want is, first and foremost, 2 farms on each side of the town center, swinging around said town center there to get you as much value, because this back farm isn't like that efficient, and the way to do it is you just go 2 farms across, and then you 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 can put these last 4 farms down, and it's a completely valid way to make that happen. As Soup is getting onto his berries here. Is he still spamming out units? No. Has he got an armory? No. I imagine he's going to be attempting to go to the next age. His walls aren't the best at this point. This is something that, again, I'm going to keep on harping on about until I start seeing Norse players doing it. And that is, have a dedicated wall builder at some point, as we do see some spearmen are out. Looks like Kiluminati a little bit scared of getting rushed down there. So just a handful of units to defend himself, as the barracks going to come up on this position. Kiluminati is in a great spot right now. He's on this gold mine though. This is a little bit dangerous, but Soup, I'm not even sure if he knows. Oh, he does know that that is there. He has scouted out the entire map. This is really, really good scouting for a Thor player. I need to go back and watch the start of this game and see exactly how he managed to scout everything out here, because he literally knows the entire landscape of this map. And he's going to be enjoying that one for sure. As the village is going to be heading back home, Soup's going to be able to go to the next age. And Kiluminati will be hitting there first, but he's getting up a second monument. Walls up on this position to defend this gold mine as the barracks coming down. And Soup here does click up through Scardy. Going to start being able to pump out those units as well as get those upgrades down. But the difficult thing now for Soup to deal with, because he used that early gold mine to get all that early pressure on, he's now going to be getting hit with that rock. And the way to defend against a rock is with the troll, which he already lost. And he could build 2 trolls here to try and defend against that. But we'll see how things are going to go here. As the longhouse coming up on this position for Soup. We see Soup retreating back here. Getting a little bit path blocked as his Ursa is a fat boy. Been on the beers a little bit too much. Enjoying the Norse mead a little bit too much there. Putting on those pounds. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Throwing accident coming through here. Going to be able to defend this location as the Wadget is in to start harassing from afar. More throwing axemen are coming through here, as well as the Spearman getting taken out. The Wadget going to get taken out on this position as well, as it does get cleaned up. Nice play there from Soup. But if we take a look at Kiluminati's perspective, he's got himself that Migdol up. He's got that gold mine sneaking that one at the top corner of the map. The Spearman is searching for a locust there in the main base. And where is that rock? The rock is coming around on the side, bringing that Patsukos through as well. Scouting out the entirety of the map as the wall getting broken down over here. There is going to be a frost available. The question is, do you use that frost on this position or not? The throwing axe are getting some serious value here as well, as with the help of that frost giant to boot. Kiluminati needs to get some other types of units out. He's starting to build some chariot archers here, but is it too little too late as the army of Soup pushing in here very, very hard to see the dwarves onto this position? How good is the locust is the big question. Not going to be dropping it down just yet, as he does notice that one there. Puts the locust down. Dwarves getting bumped by said Spearman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dead dwarves on that gold mine. That's going to hurt Soup significantly at this part of the game. And not only that, we see the Patsukos coming through here to help out, and it picks off another one. That's 8 dwarves picked off with that one Spearman raid with the rock there as well. And now Soup needs to be thinking about retreating away. Soup does have access to frost, so he can use that one at this point, but we'll see how it's all going to go as the Frost Giant pulls forward. Priest's going to be trying to take out the Frost Giant here as well. And he does decide to pull back at this point away from this location as the Priests are all well and done there. There's another raid coming onto this position. The Dwarf, is he strong enough? 1 HP? No, he gets taken out. Nice raid from Kiluminati yet again. Sniping those units beautifully there. We talk a little bit about what's a value raid and what isn't a value raid. But oftentimes, basically trading 1 for 1 is generally a pretty good way to play, because it takes about a minute, maybe 2 minutes to pay off that 1-to-1 raid there. As you do see the frost getting dropped down by Soup. This is something that personally I like to avoid as Norse. You got two types of God, this Patsukos is just doing so much damage here. You got 2 types of frosts. You got the frost which is early for Norse, and you got the frost which is held for Son of Osiris. I find the Son of Osiris the point in which I lose games most of the time as Odin and Thor here. So I find it's very, very important to deal with that by holding frost where that's concerned, as the Patsukos is still getting value over here. The villagers are going to start shanking down. Another villager goes down as the rock here, where is it going? Getting brought back home, and the Patsukos is dealt with. Nice play where that's concerned, but the unit's still pushing in here. Soup, does he have a hill fort yet? He still doesn't have a hill fort, so he's trying to get value here in this game, but I don't know if he's going to be able to find it after all is said and done. Kiluminati gets the town center up. Migdol stronghold coming through here for Kiluminati on this position as well. And now Kiluminati is ready for the offensive here. He's got some really, really strong units in the backbone of the Egyptian army, the chariot archer. Is that what it says here? No? Oh, it is backbone of an Egyptian army. There we go. I've read the thing. And now the siege tower slowly starting to roll forward here. Soup is in a bit of a wonky spot. As now the priest are out, the pharaoh is out to take down the frost giants as well. As these throwing axemen coming down here, going to be looking to prevent this villager from getting too much value where that's concerned. And we see the, what's this rock going to be doing? Can pick up all of these units and retreat away if he needs to, but the Priest and the Pharaoh just going to keep on getting picked up and dropped back down by that rock. It's such a good usage of the rock, is to use it on the offensive inside of the actual fight, because you can get, there's some really, really nasty garrison micro that no one really knows. What is this? What's the rock doing? Oh, siege tower, I see. That was smart. There's some really, really nasty rock micro that you can do in that if you can kind of time the throw and axeman's attack, you can actually get the units to dive into the rock and dodge an entire volley of throw and axeman attacks. So if you're really, really good at that micro, you can effectively have infinite HP against ranged units. Really, really strong. As the Priest are getting pushed back, it does look like Soup has managed to defend. He's gotten himself a little bit of armor through here. Kiluminati, on the other hand, has got some good upgrades. Does he have some armor upgrades himself? It doesn't look like he's got anything just yet, spending it all on the military. This is a fairly standard thing. Normally, you want to have population first and then armor, but sometimes you can go the other way around, and it can be also a valuable way to play. It just kind of depends on how the game's going, I guess. As these this trade caravan's already started by Kiluminati. He does not care. He's like, get my trade set up, call it a day. He's got the walls already up on this position to defend his trade route as well. Absolutely love that. Barracks also coming down. Heavy chariots over here to kind of attack the gold mine on the bottom corner of the map there. And Kiluminati is going to be able to start spamming out mercenary cavalry into this fight very, very soon, as we do see some spearman raids hitting this gold mine at the top position of the map here. Kiluminati has found all of the gold mines of Soup. Soup has not defended himself in the slightest in this game, as the chariot archers come through, taking out the villagers here, taking out everything on this position, as the wall's coming up over here as well. We'll see if Soup is going to be able to react to this or not. He is getting some good value on the front here, also taking out those camel caravans. We'll see how things are going to go here, as Kiluminati still at full population, still raiding. It's in the main base of Soup, but the watchtowers are up, so those spearmen are not long for this world, as the chariot archers over here now going to start getting shanked down, but it takes a long time for those chariot archers to actually get taken out, as now we finally see some defense on that position. It's the hill fort coming up here for Soup. Kiluminati now. There's the first mercenary, and the first mercenary of many to come through in this game, I'm sure. This is Kiluminati's plan. Get the trade route, start the mercenary cavalry. It's a solid plan. It's a plan from many, many years ago. Always been very, very good. As the siege tower comes through, going to start bashing down this hill fort. That hill fort's not going to be long for this world either. As the axemen getting taken down there, walls are set up all over the map. This is one of those things that I think that lower level players do somewhat better than even the top level players. Like maybe not Chemo or maybe not like Nullus, but some of those like top 10 level players who are really, really good in like the aggressive part of the game. But missing this sort of a play in just getting the entire map secured nice and early here. Look, Kiluminati's got the entirety of the map secured by 17 minutes and 48 seconds. This is really, really important and A1 fundamentals that Kiluminati has got down here to a T. And this is going to make life incredibly tough for Soup moving forward, as the axemen coming out. I wouldn't mind seeing a priest or a pharaoh coming onto this market here to help out where that's concerned. But we'll see how things are going to go, as the axemen pushing up onto this position, going to start taking down those villages where that's concerned. And we'll see how things are going to go. Kiluminati can start pumping mercenary to raid the villages here as well. Always a good idea. Spearmen on auto queue to continue hitting this location. The only way to defend against this sort of a raid is to get your own buildings down here to defend against this, or get walls up. As we see now, Kiluminati has managed to grab a town center of Soup. I don't know if Soup had this one either, if it was just sitting on 2 town centers, or if Kiluminati picked that off somehow. But the town center over here is still being held, as the raiders coming through here doing some good damage more raids over onto this gold mine. What is happening in Soup's economy here? He's got a lot of wood, he's got a lot of food, but no gold in this game. Desperately trying to hold on to gold mines, but down 4-2 town centers with down 40 population. What else can he do? Kiluminati's nearly at full population here. He doesn't have any armory upgrades at the moment, though. That's the big advantage that Soup's got here. He's got himself bronze shields already, which is going to be a big help here in this game, as the raiding cavalry are going to start getting small raids onto these camel caravans. The big difference between a camel caravan and a villager is about 60 HP or 50 HP, so it takes a lot longer for a camel caravan to go back, but it can't fight back, so there is that where that's concerned. So something to think about, I guess, as the Frost Giants pushing forward onto this position. What is Kiluminati doing to defend this? He's pushed off of that gold mine completely here. The gold in the middle of the map is all Soup has for the time being here. 100 population. Frost Giants will be able to take down this fortified position here with fortified town center and Migdol stronghold. Do we see Masons in? No, but we do have the priests coming through here for Kiluminati to defend on this one. The Frost Giants do have 70% pierce armor, so it does take a long time for the priests to actually take those Frost Giants down. The other way to kill off a Frost Giant, funnily enough, is to use a higher value myth unit like a Nubite or a Scorpionman or any sort of like hack damage units, because it's got a little bit less hack armor. Though that being said, the Frost Giant can just freeze those. So you're probably better off making your priest, making your pharaoh and all the other stuff over there. As the priest does come down onto this market here to help boost that trade route up. If you know your opponent is doing this, you can send a unit in to kind of harass that hero and slow things down for him. It is well worth it. It slows the economy down significantly, as the Migdol stronghold still going down. Could empower this up and probably keep it alive with just a handful of villagers mining, repairing that one, as another Frost Giant goes down here. Migdol stronghold almost picked off here, and it might fall, as it does end up falling there. The Frost Giant manages to finish that one up. There's still a town center remaining. There's still mercenary cavalry streaming in onto this position here, and Kiluminati is ready to finish Soup off, because this is the only gold mine Soup's got at the moment. Soup's got nothing left here. He's pumping everything in to this position. He gets himself those heavy raiders in, but there's a hill fort coming up on this position. We've got the spearmen coming through here as well. Pharaoh going to be getting taken down there on this position, as well as he's going to start slinging those bullets of magic to finish off that Frost Giant. And now Soup is looking at this going, how do I beat 180 plus the population of those mercenary on this position? Because Kiluminati's got infinite resources now with that trade route started. There's just so much stuff here for Kiluminati, and in that moment Soup does decide to tap out. GG, well played by by Kiluminati here. A really solid game by Kiluminati. Super defensive, played around that aggressive opener that Soup put forward here very nicely, and managed to like play around pretty much everything, and then really nice raids was able to keep him in this game. I think if Soup gets those walls set up a little bit more aggressively to save himself against those sorts of raids a little bit earlier, I think he'd be in a better position. But just not putting any walls up to defend himself here, I think that was the downfall. These sorts of walls, I just don't think they're worth anything. I would much rather see him, if he wants to put walls down, defend his own stuff on his own side of the base early, and then that's going to be another way. Or even like some forward walls like here, for example, and just controlling the map like that rather than getting this one up might be another way to go. I'm not 100% sure, but a really solid game here from Kiluminati. These guys played a big series. I'm not going to cast all the games, but I would recommend, if you want to, you can go over and check that series out. I believe Kiluminati or Soup were live streaming it, so definitely worth going and checking out. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.